Turf Talk with Drew Miller.
On this Women's in Turf Team podcast, we have Miss Maritza Martinez of St. Louis City Soccer Club. We have Miss Morgan Hunter of the Quad City River Bandits, and of course Miss Leah Withrow of the Reno Aces. What an awesome time this was. Obviously, we're all really close friends, and we like to have, again, a laugh at our own expense, but it is always incredible getting to talk to these women. They are the bright light in this industry that, again, their passion, their love, their hopes for the future when it comes to sports field management outshine the rest. They always have great insight into what's going on in different areas of the industry. Obviously, minor league baseball and MLS soccer. There are so many things going on that they, again, give us the background information of what's difficult, what's great, what do they love about this industry, and they really showcase on what it takes to be a professional. And at this SFMA, we had a lot of different opportunities to meet up. I know the Softball Little League World Series had a big role on their 2022, so we got to dive into that and how it really impacted sort of their outlook on their futures in this industry, and taking it back to, again, their home, wherever they're working, was something that, again, has stuck with them since then. Being able to reconnect again at events like this, we get to talk about how important it is to be a part of the SFMA, and how this organization truly keeps us all really tight-knit and, again, focused on a goal of promoting this industry and bringing the next generation in. And these three, I truly cannot thank them enough, because not only are they inspiring my kids, but they're invested in them. They are all the time checking in on my kids. They love them dearly, which I can't repay them anyway, because it's truly a game changer to have industry professionals who have a vested interest in my students, again, their futures and what they're going to be doing in this industry, hopefully one day. You don't understand what that means to not only me, but, again, those kids. It's unparalleled what they're doing for this industry, and I think it's important for everybody to know that they're the people that we should aspire to be, because everything is just, again, continuously trying to better those around them. And I think that is something that needs to be told. And I'm so excited for one of my former students, Julie Kessler, to be interning with Maritza in St. Louis. She's going to have so many incredible opportunities to better herself, not only as a sports field manager, but as a person, and all areas of this industry that we all know and love. And again, it's really funny how some people have, again, just put in so much time and energy into my students that they really have had an incredible impact on the future of this industry, and I cannot thank them enough. They're three of my best friends in this industry, and this is an episode that you get a good laugh out of. So again, I cannot thank all of them enough. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Tiger Turf Talk.
We are rolling.
This is Maritza Martinez, and this is Tiger Turf Talk.
I mean, I couldn't say it any better than myself, even though I'm not the person that said that. Shout out John, my brother, who made it. We're back here at the booth, at Pioneer Booth, here in Salt Lake City at SFMA, with three of, not only in this industry, of my favorite people on this planet. We're really excited to have you guys here. How's the conference been? What have you been most excited for, other than Leah trying to kill me for the fact that we had to talk? How's your guys' conference going?
If it makes you feel better, I almost tried to kill Maritza too, so that's
Why?
true. That is true. It's a secret.
Maritza's so nice.
It's because I beat her in bowling.
Ooh.
I got off the plane to a message that said, "Don't let me fight Maritza tonight."
Well, that's just terrible.
I think I'm just in a fighting mood. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Leah, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. That's like 98% of the time.
I also
Which
heard
is
she was
why we
good.
love you.
She's good at axe throwing, from what I was told.
Oh.
So maybe we should watch out.
Really?
I took 5th place last night. No big deal.
Out of like 48 people.
No big deal. All right, people, be aware when you're around Leah. If she's got an axe, she can definitely get you. So, what has the conference been like other than trying to kill each other, you know?
Leah, you go ahead. You let us know.
It's been busy,
It has been busy, for sure.
and it's only been 2 days.
Can we take a moment to highlight the calendar she made just for this week?
Oh yeah, my planner's super color coded. I didn't send you guys the picture, but there's like a list of all the obligations I had, and then it was like pink is priority, and blue is like, you should probably do this, but you don't have to, and then orange is like, just so you remember this dinner.
So where were we at on that list? What color?
Pink.
I didn't get a color. Our talk didn't get a color. She's like, I gotta get rid of this crap. But Maritza, how about you? How's the conference going? Obviously, new team and everything. It's been
New
crazy.
team. I'll put it this way. Last year, I described that I was passed around like COVID because I met so many people. My first year at SFMA. This year has pretty much been the same.
Leah, straight face, focus. Focus.
I was passed around like
Focus.
COVID.
Focus.
Listen, people don't know this, but I'm hilarious.
You're the funniest person I know. But Leah, don't make that, you know, let's go. Morgan, how about you?
It's been good.
We
Solid.
need
I
more
love
than
Morgan's
good.
responses, you know. That's always
Short
what it
and
is.
sweet.
It's great. I'm doing fine. It's
Yeah.
fine, fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
Anything going on? Obviously, you've made a huge move in the last few months. How's it going with all that?
It's been a great 1 week.
God bless America. Great 1 week. So what has happened in that 1 week? I'm gonna see if I can stump her. Have to answer more than one word.
A lot of inventory lists and office work. So all the fun.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
That might be the longest answer I've ever heard.
I know, right? Hey, at the Softball Little League World Series, there was a lot of good talking, you know?
Yeah.
It was usually a result of me and Leah arguing, and then you're like, well, what about this? And you're always solving the problem. But let's talk about the Softball Little League World Series. Obviously, there are things that happen, and Maritza actually got to talk to you like right after, like a week after, because you wanted to add something to your podcast, which is great. I love it. What was that sort of like for you guys coming back? So again, your roles in the industry after being a part of something that again is such a powerful thing that happened, and truly again a moving the needle type situation for this industry moving forward.
I'll take it. I'll go first. For me, tomorrow I'm actually going to be on an amazing panel talking about volunteering in our industry. So coming back from an event like that, you work. And Leah, I love the way she described it. She's like, I use my off days to go work somewhere else. The best way to put it. But even though you're working, you come back fully refreshed, if that makes any sense. I was exhausted when I got home. I'll be totally honest. Starting a new job, I was exhausted. But I've never felt better coming from an event like that, if that makes any sense to you guys.
Reinvigorated.
Yeah, there
for
we
sure.
go. That's the word.
I know words. It's great.
It was crazy to see how it reached so many people. Because like when you're in it and we're working day to day, like we're just trying to get through the day and try to get the field prepped and try to get everything going. And then when we left and we saw how it not spiraled, but like how it exploded. Different outlets picking it up, ESPN picking it up, Turf Twitter picking it up. People knew about it, and like when you're there, you think you're just doing a job, but in the grand scheme of things, like you're impacting an entire community that you had no idea was happening.
And you definitely don't think about the impact that you're making while you're there.
No.
No, I mean in the heat of the moment and everything you guys are doing, it was just another day at the office, and maybe a couple of things that me and Morgan again, the conditioner in the outfield, and I was like, what's going on? This isn't right. But in everything, you're doing your job, and you don't really see that impact you guys were having on not even just this industry, beyond. Obviously, you have a great story. You probably said 1,000 times. But again, the impact you're having on so many people is truly incredible. Morgan, how about you for everything Softball Little League World Series? If you say great or fantastic, we're going to have a problem.
She
It was
wanted
better
to.
than great.
I can't be mad. I can't. I
She
didn't say.
said more than great. She got you.
No, it was really good. I mean, we never get to work together, we get to just hang out at this kind of stuff and annoy you together.
Yeah.
But
Which I love. I invite it, you know.
But there it was fun because like I was talking to Leah while we were there. I was like, there are all these weather decisions and it's stressful, but it's not our decision, so it is what it is. Like we'll do our best, but we're not having to make the tough calls.
It's the playground.
Yeah.
The playground.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the one where and I said it, the podcast, all you heard was like swings.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing it again, I'll be bringing WD-40 with me to just, get those right.
Get it ready.
Yeah.
But like Morgan said, this, like I don't know if there's ever going to be a job that I take where I get to work with them every day.
Yeah.
Like the chances
It
of that
could
happening.
be arranged. I mean, we could be
We're
strategic
sitting at
about
this
it.
table.
Maritza did
Let's
apply for
start
my
steaming right
internship.
here.
I still haven't heard anything back.
Wow.
We're not
I'm
doing it
embarrassed.
until February.
Way
I
to take
told
things
you
seriously,
that.
Ooh, I'm
Way to
embarrassed.
take things seriously, Leah.
But it's really cool to get to work beside people that you probably don't get the chance to, except for an event like that.
Yeah.
For sure. I think we should start scheming. Where do you guys want to go? All three of you, all together, one crew.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah, Nick
Wow.
McKenna. Nick McKenna, I've already spoken
It's
to you
not
once.
happening, apparently.
Next year.
Hey, whenever
It's not
whenever
happening
it's
next
back.
year.
Okay.
Nick, think of us.
Okay. I'll text Nick right now. Something else again. We recorded one earlier with Snap and Chat and Julie. There were so many things that went on that week, that has sort of brought everything. Again, sorry, Leah, for Megan sort of swerving you, but Maritza, are we allowed to talk about it? It's going to be released down the line.
Josh, I hope you're okay with this.
Is he right here?
He is here.
He
So,
can't hear us. Go ahead.
We're going to say this is going to get released after Julie finds
It
out.
100% is going to be.
So happily enough, while at the Little League Softball World Series, I was able to make the connection with Julie. And she's going to come work under us, and it's going to be amazing because there's not many women in Major League Soccer. I'm going to bring another one in, hopefully. And Julie's just above average. I mean, she's amazing, and I'm the lucky one.
Julie's my girl, so that's so sweet of you to say. So I appreciate that.
I love her.
And then obviously Haley's going to be going to Carolina Green with Chris Ecton. Just from me talking to them, I texted him during the podcast. I texted Leah, like, "Hey, I might have somebody," And like most professionals right now, they're like, "Oh yeah, we need someone. Like, definitely let us know." With everything, what's been some of your fondest memories? You guys were talking about coming to these events and everything, being able to hang out. What are some of your fondest memories from SFMA when it comes to this group right here?
The three of us? This group?
Oh man.
No, the group that's over there where no one's there.
The fondest memory. We're going to let Morgan take that one.
I literally have no words right now.
That's how fun and fond it
Oh,
was
yeah.
that Morgan is just at a loss for words. Honestly, again, you don't work with many women. You don't see many women. Sadly, that's just the reality of our industry right now, but it's getting better day in and day out. That's something that the three of us are really pushing for. And then, of course, the OGs. We're all pushing for it.
Those are not a thing anymore, remember?
we
I got
want-
yelled at the other day that there's no such thing.
Well, that's valid. We want to make advancements in that, but coming to this event, seeing each other, being able to actually spend time together and talk about, hey, this is my industry issue. How have you dealt with this? What people don't know, and now you do know, is we have a group text, the middle G's. That's the name.
Ooh, watch
Yep.
out. Is
We're
it
pretty
just
much-
the three of you? Or
We're
is
pretty
there
much
more
best
people?
friends.
Shocker. Who knew that, right?
It is cool to come to the conference this year after going to the Little League Softball World Series and meeting everybody because I've come to this conference many a time, but I have never met Sun. I had never introduced myself to Kelly. I had never talked to Sarah a whole lot. So getting to meet them before coming here and then having those connections right away when you came here, and then all of us rallying around Sun today as she got elected and brought in
that
as
was incredible.
the SFMA president, and all of us sitting together and getting to cheer her on was a really special moment, and I think it meant a lot to her and it meant a lot to us because we're finally getting to see somebody who we love in a position of power.
We kind of get to see us.
Yes.
Yeah, something that we could do.
I mean,
Yeah.
Abby and Sarah have been past presidents, but
Yep.
we weren't involved and we didn't get to see it. So now we get to see it and
Firsthand, be a part of it. And
Yeah.
honestly, have your voices be heard. you
yeah,
know?
honestly,
That's
an
a
entirely
big
different
thing.
experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And Sun is literally the greatest human I've ever met. And
Shout out, Sun. Where are you?
She deserves everything.
She's doing
Everything and
president
anything.
Yeah.
100%. I might put that on her podcast. Just be like, this is Sun Rose like da 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 da.
I'm really happy you pronounced your name right this time.
President Rose.
You know what?
Remember when you were like, you guys should do a podcast with me again? You did this to yourself.
And you gave us no outline.
You let
There
this
was
happen.
no outline. This is supposed to be fun. It
You
is
literally
fun.
could have
I
split us
messed
up.
up. Okay? Son, you know I love you. I was very tired. I had just drove 5 hours. I was out of my mind, honestly. But yeah,
That's
imagine
different from
what
any
I'm
other day.
calling.
Got you again.
You're outnumbered.
This
You
is-
are
this
so
is gonna be like-
outnumbered, my friend.
Oh my gosh. So I can't even think straight. With everything, obviously you're talking about mentors and truly everything that you guys have. And why are you making signs?
It's the third time you said with everything.
And truly once.
I hadn't even been counting. I had no idea.
Counting.
Leah, just be happy I didn't do it in our presentation, okay?
I was listening
We
to
killed
you.
it, by the way. I hope you know
Yes.
that. No matter how mad you are at me, it was
good.
great.
It was good.
I sweated and blacked out, but
That's all you got to do when it's good. We're talking. I'm not saying it. We're talking about mentors here. Maritza, why are you laughing so hard?
I'm not.
What has it meant for you to have mentors in this industry that have had such an impact, sort of moving forward? What's going on, guys?
all our minor league friends, shout out Sukup and Parrot.
And Joey.
Matt Parrott. Obviously my favorite.
I don't think they can hear you, so
We love you guys. We gave you a shout out. Aww. Us minor leaguers got to stick together.
for sure. God bless you guys for all that you do. With that, we should just make a count. You guys have to take that many beers later. Mentors are a big part of this industry, and I think after the Little League World Series, it truly showed sort of the dynamic of a mentor, and the significance in your guys' lives, not just in sports field management, but in everything. And you guys being mentors for those around you as well. And it's just a great thing to see. What has it been for you guys sort of to see new mentors come into your life as well as becoming a mentor for those around you in your life? What has it been like to see both sides of it and truly have such a large impact that you guys hear it from me all the time, but I can't thank you enough for everything that you do. So,
Are we really old enough to be mentors?
I don't know.
How did we get here?
do you want me to
It's
call
weird to
Liz? I
think
can
about
phone
that.
her in probably. You
That
want to
was
actually go?
it's a weird transition to be like, there are now younger people looking up to us, and I'm like,
But it's
don't-
good that there is.
Yes.
100%.
I mean, younger than us. Not that they're looking up to this group necessarily.
Yeah, maybe don't be your heroes, kids. But like, it's
I
great
think
to have
it's
mentors.
good for a couple kids to meet their heroes. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
It was crazy though. There's 5 generations that were at the Little League World Series, or the Little League Softball World Series. 5 generations of women who've been doing this, paving the road for each generation behind them, and getting to see each one grow and how, like, you can see milestones being made with each generation. And I'm really excited to see the Julie's generation and then the Liz's generation, and then having people look up to Liz. Then I'm gonna feel real old.
Yeah. We'll be the OGs.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. For me, I would say it's kind of crazy. I haven't been in the industry too long. We were right in the middle of the newer generation, and then obviously the generation that's been around and been paving the way before us. So we kind of could see both sides, we could kind of speak for both sides a little bit, talking to the opposite groups. And it's just crazy. It's crazy to think that we're in the middle and we are paving some kind of road, because you're in it. When you're in it, you're not thinking about what you're doing. You're not thinking about the future of what's being done. You're just doing it. You're just doing the job every day. And I think that might be the best way to pave a road, You lay a brick every day.
One step at a time.
Ba-doom.
We'll get there in a few hundred years if we're doing a brick at a time, No, but again, I agree with you. Morgan, give me something good. Come on.
Good.
I think it was cool when we were there because, like, at the beginning,
Sorry, you said more than 3 words.
we didn't know each other very well. Like,
No.
like Liz and Julie and all of them, and they were so hesitant. And by the end, they were like, "Will you get out of my way?" Which is kind of cool.
In the nicest way possible,
yeah,
right?
like, you're helping them like learn and grow in the industry. And we didn't necessarily have opportunities like that. So to see them have it so young is really cool.
My favorite thing to tell people is if one of these girls end up taking my job one day, that means that every one of us did the right thing. We taught them the way they needed to be taught. And hey, if you want to take it and you can, like, I'm proud of you. I will clap for you and stand for you.
It's also really cool to see him here and just come straight up to him and us all hang out yesterday and hanging out today and getting to talk to them like peer on peer and having them know that they can come to us at any time and text us any time and ask us any questions is like a really amazing feeling that like I didn't necessarily have.
Me either.
Like there were women that I was looking up to, but I did not have them as readily available as these young girls have us.
100%.
Well, it's cool watching them go off and network on their own.
Yes.
Like I was like,
I'm like, fly, baby bird.
Oh gosh. Oh.
So I was not like that. So like to help them feel comfortable and to just go out and do that is awesome. Because I would still struggle with it.
No, you don't.
I always will.
No, you're good. But again, I couldn't agree. I had a talk with them before. It was like talking about how like far ahead they are. You know, like when I went to my first SMA, I was like,
last year was mine, and I was the same way.
it was like, what is going on right now? Like
Who are
I
all these
didn't know
people?
anyone. I interviewed for my first job. I just saw Matt. Like that was my first interview I ever did at the conference. And again, coming in like fresh, not knowing anybody, to now like again where you guys know everyone. It's just you walk 10 feet, there's someone else. You walk 10 feet, there's someone else. And you see that happening to them, and especially Snap and Chat being their first one, and like it's really only their first semester of turf management.
Yes.
Getting top internships way before even like the summer or the spring classes start. You know, it's just great to see not only for them, but sort of us as an industry being able to sort of bring that forward. And that's sort of like the new standard, you know, reaching out, having opportunities for kids that are younger, maybe, you know. I'm going to stop babbling.
Also, shout out them doing the Turf Bowl. Good luck.
Right now, yeah.
Julie, Haley.
All of them are
Megan.
super confident. what
They're going to do great. They're going to hold the teams down.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
For sure. You guys have a lot of stuff going on. I mean, I talk to you guys all the time. Maritza started first season ever of a club with internship programs that are being built from the ground up. Leah, fourth year, third year?
Starts counting.
See, at least I'm not in trouble for not knowing.
This will be my
Fourth season, right?
fourth season.
Fourth season.
Going into.
When
you're that successful, it all runs together.
By the way, off of Field of the Year award. Let's shout out to Leah real quick. Field of the Year award.
Yes.
Grass God.
You know. I'd say
you.
Stripe God, honestly. That's
No.
Yes.
Shout out my
That's-
crew who worked really hard for it this year. They really put their. I talked about it in the spring, and I said this is something like I really want to try to get this year. And they wanted it just as bad as I did, and they worked every day just as hard as I did, and it paid off for them, and I'm super proud of them and really happy for our field, and can't wait to go into this season as champions.
Can I tell you something, buddy?
I like the gold
You're
outline by the way under
undefeated.
here.
I am undefeated.
With a gold outline on.
We just
2020,
painted the 2022 on the wall, and we put gold outline on it.
Stop it. Send me a picture.
I made a video. I posted it on TikTok.
Yeah, for sure. But again, those are things that, I mean, they mean the world to people like us, again, who are putting in the time and the effort. You obviously are going through a lot right now, first week and everything. Something that you did a year ago, you know, which you've got practice, but it's a different location, different climate, different grass, everything. What are you sort of going through going into the season?
Just trying to do everything I was really bad at in Columbia. Office work,
First of all,
stuff
you
like
weren't
that.
bad at it. It's just there were
No,
other
I
things
was.
that
There was
required
room
you.
for improvement.
There was a lot of room for improvement.
Again, it was your first year ever. You know?
Yeah.
It was your first year ever,
Yeah.
so it's all about learning.
Well,
from-
and I lost my assistant after the second game, and my intern at the end of that home season. So that first homestand.
Homestand, I was gonna say.
So that threw a wrench in the plans. So
Little monkey wrench.
I
Yeah.
would have interned with you. I would have come over. What people don't know is
Maritza.
we both lived in Columbia at the time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I got. You can't clone yourself.
No.
You can't be in Reno. You can't be in Quad City.
Well, valid.
And St. Louis.
I was gonna say I went my own season.
She did apply for mine first. Sorry, Morgan.
that's true. Does she have references though?
I do. Do you want me to start pointing at people?
Josh, you a reference?
Josh is right beside me.
And again, there are so many things that are going on. What are you guys looking forward most to when it comes to 2023? God bless. I can't believe I'm saying 2023. For you guys specifically, whether that's work-wise or other things that are going on in your life.
Work-wise, I'm pretty excited to see how a Major League Soccer season goes. Obviously, I've never even been to one, like to a game, a match, excuse me, to all the soccer lovers out there.
Pitch. I know it's a pitch, not a,
No, I'm excited. Coming from baseball, of course, you have like huge crowds normally. But from what I'm hearing, soccer fans are the fans to have.
It's very
I hope that's
up and
true.
coming. Like
I hope that's
when
true.
and we can talk to Ryan. He's got the Revolution and the Patriot Stadium and whatnot at Gillette. They're crazy.
They are crazy.
It's like, have you ever heard like a Real Madrid game or anybody like in the Premier League? Like their fan base it's like a religion,
yeah, well,
which you sort of see here now. It's not that crazy, but it's up there.
my team being a new team in Major League Soccer, we have the biggest following. I mean, when I announced that I was coming there, I got a flood of people trying to follow me on Twitter, and I was like, "Who are you? Why are you following me?"
No.
My team is amazing. Like my ownership, they have a great way of just making sure that everyone knows, hey, my grounds crew, they're doing this, which is completely unheard of for most sports, most places. They accent us and they show that they're proud of us. We had a friendly in November, which, think about November in Missouri, and we're having a match.
I had just talked to Josh literally like 2 days before. He's like, we have a game the first day we have a frost.
Yeah, so we're like midway through the game and we're watering, we're picking divots, everything like that. And a fan literally yells my name from the crowd. And I literally stop in the field and no one listening can see me. But I'm literally like,
I'm just saying, that's kind of like legendary. We're putting that out there.
I was like, first of all, whoever can pronounce my name right, MVP.
Love you already. It's great to have a good fan base. Anyone else? What do we got going on?
I get to come into this season PCL champs.
Ooh.
The Reno Aces did win a ring, which I should be getting in a few weeks. Got some bling bling.
She like grabbed her hair. She's like,
I just probably this hand
Flips hair.
hey Max, are you getting a ring? Are you getting a ring?
He looks at Leah. He's like, can you tell
Max
me?
Leah's like, no shot. No shot. Shout out Max, by the way. We love him.
Shout out Max.
Leah needs a ring on both hands.
So I'm just super excited to go
A pinky
into.
one, too.
I think the hype, like she was saying, our fan bases are super excited to go into this new season champions and getting to kind of ride that wave as long as we can as winners. And then me getting to ride the wave as a Field of the Year winner and just a bunch of winners in Reno.
God bless Reno, you know? Morgan,
There's not as much
Austin
winning
City.
going on with me right now, but
you're still winning in life.
You're
That's
a
all that
winner in
matters.
my eyes.
I will say I'm closer to home this year, and I am
That's awesome.
very excited
That
about
is
that.
And
great to
me.
hear.
Well,
We're both in the Midwest.
Maritza's over here like,
I love Morgan.
me too. Oh, I couldn't tell.
no, but I'll be closer to home, but then I'm also going to be able to do some stuff, change it up, what I learned from last year, and hopefully implement some of that. See if anything goes smoother. But probably not.
I can promise you your second year is far, far better than your first.
Well, here's my question. What's the you got a lot of rain? Because when you
We
said
had 37 tarp pulls.
that was Columbia. Do you have more where you're at? That's what I'm saying. The new place.
I hope
is great.
not.
I was like,
I hope you
I am right on
you
the river,
sent me,
though.
a picture at 37. I was like,
Yeah.
If you want to come to Reno, we pulled it once.
Yeah.
shut up. Nobody wants to hear
In my
that.
season at USC, which is in Columbia, we did not have one single in-game tarp pool. Not one. And then Morgan just took them all.
We got 5.5 inches of rain an hour before the 4th of July.
Oh no.
I could have cried, but we played.
You were undefeated that day.
Undefeated.
You damn right. God bless. Oh my goodness.
That was rough.
Like,
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about 5 inches in
I
like.
had the ticket sales guys out with blowers in the outfield trying to get them
Good
to
for
move some
you.
grass. Yeah, it was.
Talking about.
it
That's
was a
great to
lot.
have people actually working. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's great.
All hands on deck when that happens.
Yeah.
That's how you pay the bills.
That's how you pay bills.
So with that, we'll go into that. When it comes to your organizations and whatnot, how has it been? Maritza, why are you laughing?
Just keep going.
It's an inside joke.
No, I said it again. I know.
No,
No, you
not
didn't.
that.
Lies.
No,
Different inside
swear.
joke. We have lots
Just
of
keep
inside
going.
jokes. You act like we're not friends.
We have a group chat.
Lots of inside jokes in the group
My
chat.
bad. Whoa. Obviously, organizations have different approaches when it comes to not just the field, but like everything that's sort of coherently working towards, again, a goal of a great season on a perfect field with champions, winning city over here, Reno. What is it like working with the other departments, with the players themselves? What kind of relationships have you made? Leah, I know when we were prepping for our talk, you were talking about coaches that were leaving, different things, like you knew who they were, you had a good like relationship. And how does that sort of impact your guys' job sort of overall when it comes to the work?
I find my job a lot easier when I do have those relationships and I am able to communicate with them. So I try really hard when they first get there to build a positive communication line that if you need anything, I'm going to try my best to help. I can't always give you the answer that you want, but I'm going to do my best. And it's the same thing for them. They really understand that how many hours we put in and how much work we do, and they appreciate the service that we deliver for them, and they want to make a mutually easy relationship so that we can get through 75 home games without
One at a time.
one at a time.
When you kind of got to let them know, like, you'll scratch their back if they'll scratch yours.
Same with our front office. My
Maritza.
Keep it focused. We're focusing.
My front office, I got really lucky, is pretty overall trusting of the decisions I make and understanding of when I have to.
Is that a tamp or something?
Yeah,
It's another swing.
I was like, that sounds familiar.
Oh,
It's the bat signal.
I gotta go.
For me, with us being a new team and everything, my team's training center is directly beside our shop, which is totally weird, but I guess it's the perfect spot for a shop to be. Josh and I had a whole conversation about it earlier. But we're really fortunate because all of our players, all of these men that make thousands upon thousands of dollars, they make a point to come speak to us. Whereas it's kind of like a norm that it's you're out of sight, out of mind. And if someone's looking for you, it's a bad thing. Not where we're at. For some reason, our players, our coaching staff, our ownership, they make a point to speak to us and acknowledge us and say thank you and that we're happy for you to be here. And yeah, it's kind of culture shock for me because I'm like, this is amazing. This is work life.
I feel like soccer definitely has a better relationship when it comes to that, you know.
I think culturally, though, like in Europe especially, and it's
Yes.
translated over here,
To the
that
MLS.
that soccer players, football players, whatever,
Football,
wherever
whatever you
you
wanna
are at, have a huge respect for their groundskeepers. Like the level of respect and like dedication that the players have to the groundskeepers is a whole different than any other sport.
Yeah. I mean, we have 2 practice pitches, and our coach comes up to us and he's like, I'm going to transition back and forth for you guys so I don't get too much wear on one field. And I'm like, wait. Have we talked to you already about this? You're just offering?
Did I tell you to move the goal? Like, no, okay. We're
No,
good.
we're really fortunate in St. Louis.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah. Every time I see him, he like daps me up, and I'm like, hi, Coach Bradley.
Okay. Yeah.
Why are you looking at me?
We're all serious.
They already talked.
No, I get to work with Brooks, and for the life of me, I cannot remember his last name right now. But he
We love
was,
you, Brooks.
Yeah, he was our manager when I was the assistant, and I get to work with him this year, and he was great. So I'm
That's awesome.
excited to have a good relationship with the manager, and our trainer from Columbia is coming to Quad Cities, so I'll get to
Very
work with
nice.
him too.
That's
so
great.
yeah, he already knows about the weights and keeping stuff off the grass. So
Very nice. That's always helpful.
Hopefully
Yeah.
you're staying within your organization.
that I am very
And
excited about that.
because they stay within their organization depending on what level they're at. They just move up and down. And it's the same for us sometimes. So to keep those relationships that's a huge plus moving from.
And I kind of know like what like Mitch and all the field coordinators want already. So I have a good relationship with them too. So it's going to be kind of fun to actually build on that and get to know them better.
So it's like getting something familiar when you're in a new place.
Yeah.
Which is good, especially when it's like so different, you know.
Yeah. Well, and the Royals this year are sending us all to Arizona, so like all the groundskeepers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks aren't like that.
So I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna like talk about and go over and what we're gonna be doing. But I think that's kind of cool.
I think that's
what's
nice.
their spring training?
Yeah. What? I'm sorry.
What's the spring training for them?
Arizona.
Well, like
Phoenix.
what's the Phoenix?
Yeah.
They're not Camelback Ranch, are they?
No,
that's
that's
Dodgers.
Arizona.
Yeah.
No,
White
that's
Sox?
Dodgers.
White
and
Sox.
Thought I might know. So we just came from the annual lunch and sort of piggybacking on the Leah, want to make a comment about something that happened?
Nope.
All right. D. Marie Smith, and you're talking about how in the Premier League they have a much higher sort of appreciation of who we are as sports field managers. What did you guys sort of get from that talk, and do you think there might be something there that might help us not only in, again, say an NFL sense, but sort of spanning over all different areas of sports field management?
I think all we really want as field managers is a seat at the table. Not just the seat in our shop, but a seat in the front office, a seat in the league. Just to express some thoughts if there were concerns, and just to sit in the meeting and listen and take in information. Guys like Danny Lazito, Ryan Bajorn, all the other great, Travis Hogan, those guys are really starting to pave the way for NFL groundskeepers. You have something to say, Drew?
I'm having all of them on later, so
yeah, they're
you hit all of them.
Great guys who are paving the way for those seats and like pulling up chairs. Party crasher.
Scary or something? Like a ninja.
Yeah. So I think that's the first step, is those younger groundskeepers starting to advocate peacefully with their front offices and not making big fusses, and then slowly inching their way towards like NFLPA and NFL as a league, just to show our importance.
And we can usually show a why as to why we're wanting these things.
Yes.
It's not just like, oh, I want this or that. Like, we have evidence and reasons why. So that also helps. We're not just going with a list of demands.
Yeah, and I think what Dr. Sorokin and Dr. Trey Rogers were talking about with FIFA coming in, with the World Cup, all of the testing that we naturally do on a day-to-day basis, they're going to be highlighting that, and it's going to be on the world's biggest stage, and it's going to be exemplified. And I think that can only be good for us moving forward, that maybe that will get us a seat. And not only do we want a seat at the table, we want to be respected in that seat. Because you can sit there, but that doesn't mean they're going to listen.
It's 100% true, you know, and it's hard. It's hard to do when there's so much politics in it, like our good friend George Toba mentioned. But it's something that I think, and I thought it was funny, the ending. Oh my god, the ending where he was like, "Well, we could confront, Roger Goodell," and oh my goodness, that's loud.
And this is a break from our speakers.
And our sponsors today.
Pioneer commercial.
I literally do that at home sometimes. Like when you have a new podcast release, I'll be on the floor. Tiger Turf Talk.
Oh gosh. Hey, at least you listen sometimes. That's always good.
I'm a big fan.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Big fan.
You really need to stop downplaying this podcast, because a lot of people are listening, and it's people who, yes, are like our colleagues, but it's also people who don't know anything about turf, and it's like their introduction. And like it's simple, and it's a way to get your kids involved into our industry and meet industry professionals that they would not meet otherwise. And you need to not downplay it so much, because it is super important.
Well, like I shared the very first one that you did from the Little League, like to my Facebook, and was like, here's a turf podcast that is really good. And they're like, I don't want to listen to people talk about grass the whole time. It's like, we don't really talk about
No.
a whole lot of grass.
I try not to, you know.
It's like you get to learn about the people behind it, and that is what humanizes everything.
That's
Wow, vocabulary word
Big
of the
words.
day. So many words. If there was one word to drop,
I love how we're celebrating every time.
Yes.
So that's honestly why I kept it going. Was pretty much just the story behind it all, you know, because we can look at a field all the live long day and say, wow, that's incredible. All of you guys do phenomenal work. But understanding the human behind that and the passion and the hard work and the grit, the hardship, you know, it's something that we don't want people coming into this industry not knowing that they're going to have to work their ass off, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Be authentic.
your most
buzzwords
authentic
from our
self.
talk. What were our other ones?
You got to show the good, bad, and the ugly, and the fun, and the science, and the art, and like there's so many layers to this world, and that just getting to like pull the curtain back and be like, we are groundskeepers is one step, but like there's so many more layers to keep pulling back after that. Like your podcast does a great job of
Your
it.
TikToks do a great job of
TikToks.
it. I mean, let's be honest, both of you are exemplifying what we do in the best ways and in fun ways, because Leah said it best, like this generation that's coming up have never known anything other than social media, and you two are taking advantage of it and you're running with it, and it's changing the game.
I'm trying. Hey.
I made them both uncomfortable, but I'm super proud to do
It's not
so.
uncomfortable. I appreciate it, you know. I try to do the best I
I'm
can.
just trying to speak the language of the next generation.
Which you do a very good job at.
Trying. I feel like a boomer sometimes when I'm making TikToks and I'm like, why isn't this clip going?
I have to wait till you share it on Twitter because
You
I don't
say-
have a TikTok.
Same, I'm with you.
She says boomer. My father's a boomer. He's like 78 years old, and she's talking about I
Aw.
can't get a video in the space. Like
I've watched my dad try to open a video in a text message. That's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, Dad, also, why is your font 50?
Was
my
it your
dad
dad
hasn't figured that
that
out
moves
yet.
his signature?
Oh,
on
yeah.
his-
My dad, all of his texts have a signature, and it's like,
That's phenomenal.
let me know when you're leaving Reno. Dash mark. And I'm like, Dad, I know who sent the text. You
That's
don't have to
amazing.
sign all your text messages.
It's precious.
It's also funny because it's you. You know, like you're his daughter. You might like she knows who you are. But no, that's funny. You guys met my dad last year, right? No.
Nope.
He was the guy with all my kids. The old gray beard.
Oh, yeah. I met him.
Yeah, he's my
Briefly.
dad.
I feel like I did.
Probably
He was a chaperone.
a chaperone. Yeah, not the talkative one. That's for sure. Shout out Gina Butler.
All right, hit us with another question.
I mean, when we talk about SFMA and everything that goes into it, Leah's got places to be. People.
No,
to see.
I was just like, I feel like we've been talking for like,
We've been talking
been
for 38
38.
minutes.
Is that it?
I've
Yeah.
been watching it.
I know I suck. It's
We
great.
moved through a lot of
we
Yeah.
moved through a lot of
topics.
stuff. That's
We
why I was
do.
like,
We
how
do.
how are we
So-
still have time to keep talking?
This is awesome.
So obviously,
Maritza's thriving.
I'm thriving right now.
I mean, we got her to use some buzzwords that we never thought were going to happen. One of the big things that SFMA is all about, especially for this conference, is education. And again, I was lucky enough to apparently coerce Leah to being part of it. What were some of the sessions that you guys were able to go to that you really enjoyed, that you think you can take back what you learned sort of to your work and what you're going to do this year? Leah, did you go to any other sessions? Didn't think so.
Morgan and I were true MVPs because we went to like all of hers.
I know,
to
you didn't
support.
have to do
I
that. You
sat
didn't have to
in
do
the
that.
crowd.
I apologize
staged.
because I couldn't make it to the other one, and apparently it was good I wasn't there because I probably would have been causing problems.
Your guys' was really good, but Leah's with Amy and I can't remember who else was on the panel. That one was really good too.
Abby and Christine.
That's
and
great.
Just talking career development and trying to
Figure out
direct.
dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah, trying to just direct people towards maybe not making our mistakes or trying to understand any questions or concerns people have and letting them know like that's relatable. Like we all have those questions and concerns as we navigate this industry, as we navigate our careers. Like both of these guys have now changed jobs and I'm still holding it down.
When I looked at Maritza,
Hold it down in
Holding
Reno,
it down with
winning
Field of the Year.
championship city
Barely.
over here.
But getting to see people take different paths and what works for them and what doesn't work for them is like trial. It's like I get to see their paths and decide what I want to do
Moving forward.
from them. Yeah.
She waits to see if we're gonna crash and burn.
She's like, nope, not that route, not that route. Hard left.
Wait, what did you do to screw this up? Oh, okay, we won't do that.
Redirect.
Yeah. No, but I looked at Maritza at the beginning and I was like, where was this talk like in September? Because I was like going through all of those things, deciding about jobs, and so that was really reassuring that I.
Yeah, I think it's cool to have talks like that are, I mean, obviously you want to have education tracks. People are trying to learn. People are trying to learn from like maybe the highest that they can go, like major league or anything like that.
Professors.
Yeah, you're wanting to learn. But then you have discussions like this where you talk about the things that everyone's going to go through, but no one talks about.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about our failures a little more, because the biggest thing with people coming into the industry is I don't want to fail. And then when you do, you're stressed that you've ruined your career.
Say it.
You want to hear something ironic?
Okay.
In our presentation, when we said don't feel failure, I literally got a text from Maritza that said, I feel failure all the time.
I was like, I definitely
In the middle of our presentation, you
I
texted
fear failure.
Yeah, when we were like, don't fear failure.
I wrote that just for you,
embrace
Maritza.
it. She's like, I fear failure all the time.
Oh, gosh.
And she's over here like, embrace it now.
Well, no, I'm not saying we embrace it because I don't want to fail. No one wants to fail. But let's talk about the fact that we all are going to, whether we want to or not. Because let's be real, that's going to help like the younger people coming in. If they know that we're failing, people higher than us are failing, they're not going to feel as terrible when they fail.
One, it's part of it.
Yes, that's my point.
Like, we're working, and we're also working with like a living, breathing thing.
Finicky.
Stuff's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember when we did our first podcast, you and me, Maritza, you were talking about how working on this field and having all these living things and trying to, again, work sort of coherently to provide, it was just, I forget what it was, but it was like perfect. Is what you were just getting into. So I love that. I remember we were sitting in a talk this morning. It was funny. With Dr. Goatley and Dr. Moncho, half of that was my capstone class my senior year at Tech. I was like, what's happening here? She was like, I don't know. I was like, it's shale. 2 seconds later, Dr. Goatley's like, there's shale underneath
The whole time he's
grass.
like, it's shale.
Oh gosh. You know what? It's fun. It's fun when you know what's going on, actually.
With everything?
I love you guys. I hope you know that. I just want to go jump off a cliff. It's fine. When it comes to this conference, what does it mean to you? Obviously, there are so many things you get to do with your friends, your peers, and everything. What has it meant for you to be a part of the SFMA as a whole and really just sort of shape the future moving forward? Because that's what you three are doing, honestly, with everything that you're... Maritza, don't make that face. You know it's true.
That's just such a compliment. I mean,
You deserve it.
I haven't been in it long, but to sit in these classes where they're talking about, like Dr. Devin Carroll, talking about, hey, how are we going to fix the issues that we're having? How are we going to move forward? And I'm happy to say, like, for someone to say that we're a part of that moving forward. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't feel real. But I think it's amazing to see where we're at now, where we were a year ago. And then one day we're going to be, like, 60, looking back at all the young people and being like, I remember when there were 4% of women here.
That song, I remember when, just plays in the background. Oh gosh, that's the part that's crazy for like all four of us, is we're really not that old when it comes to like people in this industry and everything that's going into it. What do you sort of want to see in the future when it comes to either like conferences, when it comes to just sort of overall industry things? What do you want to see as a professional and someone who again is a young industry leader, sort of moving forward in this incredible space that we all are part of?
I would like to see a little more diversity. I know that kind of can be chuckled at. Someone listening to this might chuckle
chuckling.
at it.
That would be messed up.
Personally, I would. I mean, we're definitely pushing to have more women in the industry. But as a woman of color, I would like to see that a little more going forward. A little more normalized, so I'm not like looking around and I'm like, okay, I'm the only brown girl around.
What do you see sort of that, like, again, just as an approach? Because, again, in my program, we're from sort of a rural area, and we have diverse people in the program and whatnot, but what can we do to sort of promote that and try and bring those people in?
Oh, that's a big question.
Sorry,
We are solving world peace and love today, folks.
That's a big question.
I mean, of all the people that I have on these podcasts, you three are the ones that would do that, so.
I hope so. I hope.
Leah was talking about fighting the whole first 5 minutes of this podcast.
Big peace guy.
All right, Morgan. All right, that's fine.
She came in fifth on her ex.
Yeah.
Personally, I would love to be like 50 or 60, you know, like 40 years in the future, and the four of us sitting here doing this again. Well, I didn't know if Meg.
She looked right at my face and said, "The three of us."
I didn't know if Meg. Shout out to Meg. I didn't know if she would be doing it. No offense, Drew. Love you. I would love if all of us one day look back and things have changed, and maybe it's from something that we helped do. I don't know that I have a big answer for how we change things for the whole organization. I know something awesome that I can speak for my team that I'm currently working with is they've developed a DEIB committee, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging committee, and thankfully I found out I was a part of it. Woo-hoo.
You were just told there was no.
I got an email.
That's awesome.
But I'm excited. They're trying to formulate different things. They're like, how can we bring more diversity, whether that be people of color, women, etc., into these kind of events? I think that would be kind of something cool to do. We have all these committees. Maybe a DEIB committee would be something awesome to have. Maybe we could come up with some ideas of how to move and
You
shape
have someone
things.
that's going to listen to you, your son, you know? It's definitely something to bring up to her.
Son, did you hear that?
Well, point it out, listen to this podcast at 46 minutes in, and she'll know.
I also think like just having Maritza out here and on
100%.
podcasts and doing the things that she's doing, she's showing young girls that want to be like her, young people of color that want to be like her, that it is possible, because she is their see it be it, whether you know it or not.
You're all my heroes, so again,
And
I can't
I
say
think
that
it
enough.
means a lot just to like highlight those people that are in our industry and that we're not hidden. Like, put us in the forefront and let people know that we're here and it is possible for you to do it. Look at Maritza, she's doing it.
Kicking ass.
Doing it. Like Nike, just do
Well,
it.
the other thing with Maritza, especially when I first met her and everything, one of the big things she went. It was
And everything.
Got him.
trying to say something nice here, but that's fine. 2 days after we had the podcast, she went to a local school and spoke in an ag classroom. Again, like, those are the ways that I think we can really make an impact, even if it's going to a high school that, again, is more ethically diverse, like showing them, like, this is an opportunity. And I think something that our industry is really starting to move towards and gear towards is we don't have to go to college. We have certification programs that are showing that, hey, these people know what they're doing and they can get to the top. Maybe a little bit longer if you don't have a degree, but at the same time, like, you're going to be able to work your way up to where it needs to be. So, again, I can't thank you enough for that, because that's going to change this industry, whether you know it or not.
Well, actually, that conversation that we had that day, that's
You're
something
getting
that
a present.
Oh, you got a shirt.
Wow, getting some swag.
Famous.
So famous, the most famous.
That's
Love
something
him.
that I've talked to our coordinator about at my job. We're in an urban area, obviously. We're central St. Louis, the dead center of the city. And she's like, hey, if you want to go talk to these schools about what you do, maybe have a few of them out to see what you do and actually make that impression. Because I was like, we're in the middle of the city. When I drive from my house to the field, I don't see patches of grass anywhere. I mean, that's literal. That's true. I was like, we could bring these kids out and show them this. And it might be a game changer for them. It might be a life changer for them. So that's something that I'm hoping to work on with my committee moving forward with my team.
Absolutely.
That's a huge one.
For sure. I'm probably going to wrap it up on this. Again, you guys know I love you, and I appreciate everything that you do.
He's about to roast us.
When have I ever gone out of my way to roast
I love
anyone?
you, but
There was no but. There was no
Yes.
with that or whatever I say that I don't know that I say.
with that, with everything.
Aww.
Truly.
Morgan's one word.
Morgan's got a notebook with like all of my buzzwords, you know, and it's like, come on, guys. What you guys have done for my kids at Brentsville, specifically people like Liz and Julie and everything, and it's beyond that. Everyone knows you in my program. They look up to everything that you're doing. I cannot thank you enough for that, as always. And again, I am always here for you with whatever you need, even though I'm just a high school teacher, you know. So.
Just a high school teacher. Give me a break.
Yeah,
That's
you
helped
gotta
start like how many programs?
Well, that was Kevin McCaffrey with Costa Del Mar out in California. He started a program. Oh, sorry. Don't get my gray hair. But again, I can't thank you guys enough for all that. But again, enjoy the rest of your SFMA.
Again, and again, and maybe one more time. Again.
We love you, Drew. Thank you for having us on.
Of
Yes,
course.
thank you.
Anytime.
This is